Tiffany Henyard? Yeah? I know just hearing that name probably gave you a little jolt, my dev. Even made you pass some gas from the shock. Be honest, I get it. That woman is straight up terrifying. It is only natural to get a little rattled. When her name pops up, now, we have not really touched on Tiffany for a bit. Mainly because there has not been much to discuss until today, folks. And I have got to give credit to Cooking with Frank, because that man really does his homework. He just unearthed something interesting. Now, we all know Kamal Woods is Mr. Rock Island himself. Rock Island Car Wash, Rock Island Clothing, Rock Island Clothing, Rock Island. Everything Rock Island is practically his religion. But today, friends, we have to focus in on that car wash of his, because something about it is raising red flags. And our good buddy Google Maps is here to help. Because a few things are not quite adding up hand. I am going to walk you through exactly why. So stick with me, because things are starting to take a dark turn. Tiffany Henyard has been awfully quiet lately, probably trying to scheme her next move. And I do not mean politically or in her career, no, I mean in life. She is trying to figure out how in the world she is going to afford all the lawsuits coming her way. And no, that is not a euphemism. I am saying lawsuits are literally raining down on her head like bricks, and it is not looking good. And do not forget the alphabet, boys. Yeah, they are never far behind. So let us dive into what we found. There is a clip for you all to check out, and trust me, it is interesting. Let us roll it. All right, let us get something straight. Rock Island is more than just a name. It is a whole movement. Okay? A movement that changes lives, or at the very least, changes how your car looks. So let us take a good look. What you are seeing right here is the storefront. Take a look, notice anything. Yeah, someone clearly took great pride in this place. The grass, completely untouched. Trash, just casually chilling out front. The whole vibe. Depressing. I mean genuinely, or should I say generally depressing. Now, to be fair, this could be an old image. Google Maps is not exactly known for its frequent updates, so let us give them a little grace and assume this is a bit outdated. Now, this is the building in question. Let us pan over to the side and see what is happening. Here it is, Rock Island, Splash Hand Car Wash, Automatic, and Detail Center. They have got signs up. Prices listed, looks legit on the surface. Premium wash packages, Spotless cleans $200 for 10 premium washes. That is not a terrible deal, right? I mean, 10 full-on top-tier washes for $200, reasonable. 10 spotless washes go for $150, trucks and SUVs for $200. So, Kamal is just laying out his price list. But here's the thing we really need to focus on. That fence. And more importantly, what is behind that fence? Now, Google Maps does a pretty decent job of not putting people's private property on full blast. But right by that street sign, we catch a little glimpse. And what do you see inside the lot? Asphalt? Just a plain old parking lot. No fire pits, no sand, no burn barrels, not even a metal trash can where you could argue something might be burned safely. Nope, just a regular, boring parking lot. If you angle the view from the street and look off to the right-hand side, you will see this is his property right here. Zoom in again, what do you see? Asphalt, a plain parking lot on Sibley Boulevard. Let's keep going. Take another look from the side. We are just getting our bearings here because the location matters a lot for the clip we are about to get. In 2, you can spot a city utility truck and what looks like automated washing stations in the back. And the real question becomes, where did he even get the funds to set up this entire car wash operation? That is the part that starts to get interesting. Anyway, let's take a full lap around the block. Now this right here is an earlier image. This is what the property looked like before Kamal got his hands on it. Again, Google Maps is not the most reliable when it comes to timestamps, but this gives us a solid before and after comparison. I like that we can see the transformation. Keep in mind it is all concrete. Just a wide stretch of concrete. Later, they added a fence and completely repaved the surface. Let's swing around again. I really wish we had a view over this section of the gate. This is where his property seems to cut off. Everything beyond this fence likely has nothing to do with Kamal Woods. You can see the gate and, presumably, the boundary line. Let's try to go around. Oh no, we cannot. That is fine. Still, it makes for a pretty fascinating before and after. First, we see the original state. Then the updated version it is kind of wild. To all the contractors and hardworking folks who know how to build real stuff, let me ask you, what would it take to pull this transformation off? The fencing, the repaving, the machines, the whole setup. How much money would it take to turn this space into a full-fledged car wash? And that, folks, appears to be the full property. Kamal even posted about it on Facebook flyers, promotions, the whole deal. Spotless wash, premium packages. So we can confirm this place definitely belongs to Kamal Woods. Now we are going to shift into the next clip. It comes from a YouTuber named Crook County. He has about 180 subscribers, so if you are curious, check him out. Shout out again to Cooking with Frank for bringing this to my attention. What we are about to watch is footage from that exact property owned. Though the video is grainy and a little long, something strange pops up toward the end. Let's get into it. The footage shows someone driving through the neighborhood doing a little recon. From what I gather, he was tipped off that something was happening over there. Look at the back of the parking lot, that is Rock Island. You can see a few people moving around now. Remember, this is the same spot we looked at earlier. Here is the front, and that back area over there is where things start to heat up. The surface, still all concrete. Let us move forward. The camera catches another angle, and here's where it gets weird. Not only is there a fire burning, but what appears to be Kamal Woods is also there. Now, I cannot confirm 100% that it is Kamal, but the silhouette, it is suspiciously similar. The way the guy stands, moves his head, it all screams Kamal Woods. That signature T-Rex posture. It matches. Let us skip ahead a bit. This part is important. You see people tending the fire, adding to it, making sure it stays lit. And one of those figures looks a lot like Kamal. Same hat, same head shape, same presence. Again, we cannot be certain, but this is his property, so it would make sense if it were him. And it is not like they are just throwing stuff in there, they are carefully managing that burn. Now naturally, people online started talking right away, comments started flying. Some are calling it flat-out evidence, saying they were trying to burn something on purpose. Now, look, we live in a digital world. There are really only two possible explanations. One, he is just burning trash. But let's be real, why in the world? In a country like this, would anyone be openly burning trash like that? Folks in Dolton, help me out here. Is this normal? Do people just set fires to garbage in broad daylight? Because where I'm from, we haul it to a facility. So either burning trash is a regular thing over there, or two, there is something sketchier going on, because why else would you do that in a gated area, out of view, in what looks like the middle of the night? But to play devil's advocate, we are in a digital age. If it was really something that bad, something that could be tracked online or traced through documents, why burn it? So it makes you wonder, what exactly needed to disappear in flames? Now this footage keeps going. They are standing there, making sure that stuff gets fully torched. Let us keep rolling. Right here, the camera zooms in. Now look, this could be a woman standing next to him. Two people are visible. One of them appears much shorter, could be a female. The other one, that is Kamal, at least in my opinion. I know we are squinting at blurry pixels the size of Skittles, but the body language, the way he moves, it screams Kamal. Now I do not know who the second person is, but if that is Kamal, and if that is Tiffany, and if they are together on that property burning something, yeah, then something is definitely off. That is fishy, no doubt about it. Now, again, I cannot say for sure that is Tiffany, but if it is both of them, if this is some Bonnie and Clyde scenarios, then yeah, they are cooking up something suspicious for sure. And just look at that, looks like hair, does it not? Look closely. Then she or he turns and walks off while Kamal stays behind. That looks exactly like Kamal. We cannot say with 100% certainty, but based on movement, height, and posture. That second figure checks a lot of boxes that match Tiffany. Anyway, that is pretty much the whole situation, so now I want to hear from you. What do you think? Were they burning evidence? Trying to get rid of something physical? Maybe something they bought using dirty money? Something they did not want anyone to find if the dots ever got connected? Honestly, it could be anything. It does not always have to be obvious scammer stuff that leaves a paper trail or ends up in public records. Sometimes it is about what? That money went towards something you cannot explain. something you do not want people to associate with whatever shady business was going on. Your mind could go anywhere with this one, and I want to hear your theories down in the comments. What do you think they were doing back there? Now, I would not be surprised if Tiffany pops back online and says something like, "Oh, you guys are just reaching weed, we're burning scrap paper. Nothing serious. Yeah, okay." I do not know what they were burning, but it was something. But let's shift gears for a second, because things are still moving politically in Dolton. It has been kind of quiet lately. Most of the media pulled back, and it seemed like things were finally getting back to normal. They were actually talking about local issues that mattered to the residents. I've been keeping an eye on it, just checking in here and there. Honestly, it has been a snooze fest that isn't till yesterday, because guess who is still sitting up there on the board like nothing ever happened? Yep, Andrew Holmes, Mr. Allegations, himself, still up there, still silent, still acting like he belongs. And I have to ask, how does Jason House even sit next to Andrew Holmes without being completely creeped out? I mean, for real. House, we have to talk. Something needs to be done about this guy. But shout out to Alicia Nicolby, because she brought it up again, and you could tell it got under Andrew Holmes' skin. You could feel how tense the air got. Let me roll that clip real quick, because it deserves to be heard. I do feel like this needs to be addressed. This is specifically to you, Andrew Holmes. I was surprised you even opened your mouth to give input just now. That is what you should have been doing this whole time. Your behavior has been outrageous. You completely abandoned the people. You made it seem like it was never about the residents, like it was always about pushing Tiffany's agenda. The way you voted confirmed that for a lot of folks. People want you to resign? You were asked, you refused. But the truth is, people really do not want you here anymore. That is not personal, that is just the truth. That is how the community feels. There are serious allegations against you, and you have not addressed a single one. You just walked back in here like everything is normal. No explanation, no apology, nothing. You voted the way you did, and your loyalty to Tiffany Henyard is loud and clear that needs to be addressed. You do not get to come back and pretend nothing ever happened. She continued, "I do not even want to talk to you personally. I have never spoken to you, and honestly, I do not want to. You are the only person here I have no desire to interact with. That is telling, and honestly, she nailed it. You do not even want to say hi to Andrew Holmes, because the next thing you know, you are smiling at him on Monday and waking up in the backseat of his car in another state by Wednesday, freezing your ass off at 54 degrees. He just gives that kind of energy. You know what I mean? Now look, we do not know for sure. Maybe he is just an old man with a big heart who claims to care about women and victims. But how many times have we heard that same story, only to find out the guy's a monster behind the scenes? It is always the loudest advocates who turn out to be the worst offenders. And I think a lot of people in the community feel that way about Holmes. And I am not trying to yell or be disrespectful. I am just saying what people are thinking. At some point, whether it is tonight or sometime soon, Andrew Holmes needs to speak. Period. These allegations are not going away. You do not just walk back into a board meeting and pretend you owe no one anything. You owe this community an explanation, a real one. And look at him over there, fidgeting in his seat like a guilty teenager. You can practically see him glancing over at Jason House like, "Dad, save me," the same way Tiffany used to do. Papa House to the rescue. What a joke. And of course, he stayed silent. That little, in due time, response. Give me a break. That man is probably going to die before he ever takes accountability. Because if he was innocent, he would be defending himself right now. But hey, we will see how it plays out. Whether it is the Andrew Holmes and Fania Dukes situation, or whatever Tiffany Henyard tries next time watching, I will keep you updated. You already know that. So let me know what you think. What was going on with that fire? Why is Andrew Holmes still silent? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Stay inside, stay safe. And as always, I love y'all. Peace.